In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories.
It's Warhorse, and you need to shut your mouth, open your eyes, and clean out your ears, because it's time to listen to the Raw and Order podcast. That's right, they're bringing you the best in all that meaty podcasty goodness in one, what is it, an hour? Two? Who cares? Who gives a shit? You need to listen to it right now, or else Warhorse is gonna, roll your ass!
That's right, Warhorse will roll many asses. Welcome to the Raw and Order podcast, the only podcast that's missing its normal host tonight for personal reasons. However, we do have a stand-in, so I'm going to go ahead and show us the stand-in. It's Sting! So we have a slightly different person joining us. Also joining us tonight is our RCMP JLB. Welcome, bud. How are you?
I'm good. I am good, sir. What a weekend of news.
Yeah, I feel like we have to do a news show, even though there was a...
I mean, listen, I feel like we'll wait for Smarks with the Death Before Dishonor. Give him time to watch it as well. And maybe, me. Or you... And, maybe our booking Tuesday one will be a little bit of recap, preview, thoughts of ROH as well, and potentially maybe book what is the future for ROH or something like that, kind of tie that in. We'll see. It depends on our old glorious host. But, I mean, we have to talk about the news that everyone is talking about. Vince McMahon has officially...
Before we get to that, we should remind everybody that we are part of the Tatnisco Podcast Network at tatnisco.com. There's lots of different podcasts there. We're not going to lay them all out.
Too many.
As soon as you're done watching this and anything you missed in the past from us, please, by all means, go to tatnisco.com, enjoy, and take a peek. Also, side note, hi.
Hey, what's happening? Thank you, Ambrosia.
And I am going to interject and say that Sting told me to tell you, I have to tell you it's my birthday.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's your birthday? Happy birthday, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. I just figured you were a fat ass. That's why you're eating ice cream cake. I don't know. I just didn't assume.
No, I normally would not. Over the last 3 months, since the spider bite, I normally would not have eaten carbs.
Okay. Fair enough.
They were forced on me over the last 2 days. I had a surprise party last night. I didn't know. Thank you very much. I'm going to assume that's Ambrosia.
Yes.
Salad.
Yes.
The salad lady.
Yes. Salad lady.
Not cream. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, still really can't necessarily believe it. I think we have said multiple times on this podcast alone that Vince was probably only going to retire on his deathbed. And lo and behold, he had sent an announcement Friday afternoon on Twitter and everywhere else on WWE, and sent letters to all his staff and wrestlers thanking everybody. And but after 77 years, he is finally...
He's 77 years old. He hasn't been doing it for 77 years.
Fair. I mean, after, him being 77 years old, he decided to hang it up. I mean, yes, decided, because there's rumors that there's more reports of other sexual allegations coming out. We kind of heard...
There haven't been allegations. There's just been the cover-ups have come to light.
Right.
None of the actual people have come forward and said anything, which is mind-boggling.
Well, they have an NDA. They can't. They have an NDA.
Yeah, I know.
They can't say anything.
But it's mind-boggling that
your U.S. laws are fucked.
So, well, I mean, they can get the money back.
Yeah, that's true. That's also a valid point.
Yeah. So, anyway, I thought, one of the more telling things that happened along with that was probably the Brock portion where Brock was going to walk out.
Well, I mean, he's a Vince
decided
guy.
not
He's
to.
always been a Vince guy, right? So,
True.
and I think him coming back on SmackDown was also kind of like, well, Brock, think about this first, buddy. If you decide to not show, I am sure there's going to be a lawsuit on your hands first and foremost.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, he's got a contract.
Yeah. Regardless if it's with Vince or not, it's still with WWE. So
it's with WWE. It doesn't matter who signed for WWE. WWE is still an entity. So
yeah, exactly. And then we find out that Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan are the co-CEOs of the company, and Triple H is back as EVP of talent relations.
Absolutely. So one of the questions you have to ask yourself is who's coming back? Like, do you see
I instantly saw Bray Wyatt trending like on Twitter right after all this was mentioned.
I can totally see that. I can totally see Braun being back. I very much so could see Johnny Gargano being back.
Yeah, Trips was really high on him, so that's a big possibility.
Like those are pieces to the puzzle that definitely play in. So, in other news, we got Jonathan Gresham pissed off at Tony Khan, which is
he's wanting out of his AEW ROH contract. Basically, it was more along the lines of that he feels that Tony Khan isn't really necessarily responding to him, his questions, or really like what he's doing, and he feels not being recognized. And we have heard that from, I believe, like Brian Cage, Marco Stunt, certain other people.
Once your roster gets to a certain size, somebody's going to be left by the wayside. And
and he's not just wrestling though either, right? This guy has like a soccer team and a football team, and he's also doing other shit. Maybe partly to blame would be Christopher Daniels, since he's like the head of talent relations for AEW/ROH. But ultimately, I maybe understand his frustrations a bit with turning him heel, being part of Tully Blanchard's crew, and then losing the belt all in the span of 3 weeks, and then Tully Blanchard no longer being part of the crew. Or being ahead of the crew rather. But it looks like he has been frustrated for a hot minute. And maybe just feels like he's, I don't know.
Some guys feel better on the indies. I mean, Kylie Ray felt better on the indies.
Right.
Magnus hasn't signed a contract. And Gresham has plenty of room with Impact, with
not ROH.
New Japan, AAA. There's plenty of things that young man can do. In fact, if he did go Impact, he'd be there with his wife, which is, a piece to that puzzle. So
Jordan Grace, yes, indeed,
yeah, absolutely. So, before we get too in depth and start Vince bashing, though, I brought a couple other friends with me.
Oh. I thought Sting was your only friend.
Yeah, no. I also
got more.
Johnny
Good
Hunt.
for you, bud. Hey, nice.
Johnny, I thought. No, I mean, obviously Sting's.
I got to go to my Walmart.
Sting's a good.
I mean, it's Sting
for Smarks. Yeah,
right.
However, when he's the fill-in for Smarks, you can't really get that sassy. And I feel like with Johnny Hungy, you can't. Because Sting will just be like, I just want to take care of everything and do something positive. So we're going to do an unboxing real quick and have Johnny Hungy fill in for Smarks.
That makes sense.
Okay?
That was really well thought out.
Because I want to do you say that butt tonight. And I feel
You
like
say that, but you still haven't opened it. Come on, open Hungy up.
I'm working on it.
All right.
Which face do we want to change his head out on a regular here? This is a replaceable head.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, gee golly. How many heads does it come out with?
Oh, this series also has a set of cards in it.
Oh, my God. Nice.
Oh, that's exciting. Look at that.
Ooh.
Unrivaled is what this series is called.
Nice.
And I had already gotten cards to do for my son for my birthday. So,
Oh, look at that. Getting all kinds of spoiled now for your birthday.
yeah.
Hey,
So,
well, no,
look
you're
at
not,
the
you're not hitting the camera. You're not, a little lower, there you go. Perfect. Maybe a little bit closer to the camera.
So
yes. Keep going.
yes. So we have a Johnny head that's smiling.
Oh, yeah. What head is on him now?
He's a little more serious on that one. I think Smarks has this one, but if he doesn't, I know he's going to be super jealous. So maybe he'll know next week. Maybe he won't.
Yeah, he's gonna
This
despise
is
you
a
next week.
torso moving one. The feet move.
Ooh.
The legs move. There's some knee pads to hide some stuff. He's got a jacket on that looks like maybe you could take off. Hands, arms. This has got just a plethora of range of motion. If you can see, the torso is split there.
Okay.
Legs.
Never understood why you would want to move the torso.
Well, the more movement, the better. The more realistic, I suppose.
No, I guess that
And,
makes sense.
if you rip off one head, you can put on a smile head.
There you go. You smile, I smile.
Oh, the headpiece moves though. So once you have the neck set, that actually moves.
No toys were harmed in the filming of this podcast.
I'll give it a head again, okay?
What does everybody want?
Johnny Hungy to have a head.
Yes, everybody would absolutely love that.
So Dark Order on the back. It's a good looking action figure, man.
Nice.
I'm gonna.
Will only cost you $30 Canadian. I don't know how much it is. Yeah.
Thank God I didn't buy it in Canada.
It's like $19.99 for you guys.
It was like $23 or so.
That's fair.
I just
lost
threw his hand.
You threw his head away? What the fuck?
No, his hands away.
Oh,
Jesus. I forgot that I had the hands here. So
let's give him a hand.
I'm not going to change out the hands, but I am going to store that.
Yeah, store it somewhere so you don't lose more pieces. Gee golly.
Golly gee willikers.
Golly gee willikers.
So, Sting, you're going to go back to bed.
Johnny Hungy. That face looks very similar to my co-host from the other podcasts.
Let's see if we can get him to stand up.
Can you put the camera a little bit lower? Or
it's my phone, bro. I mean, that's Smarks. Standing in for Smarks is Johnny.
I already sense the sarcasm.
You say that, but Johnny Hungy right there. I mean, right there. Why is that? It's not terrifying.
I didn't say it was terrifying.
No,
I said I already sensed the sarcasm.
Says, why is that so terrifying? I'm not even going to put it up on the screen. Let's see what this card is, though, huh? And then we'll talk. We'll mock Vince.
Then we'll definitely. I just saw a meme. Vince screwed Vince, and it had Bret Hart's picture on it, and I was legit laughing at that. That was hilarious.
Oh, they are not all Johnny Hungy.
Oh, they're Dark Order though.
So we have an AEW, Alex Reynolds,
Oh, okay.
who I believe is no longer with the company, right?
Right.
A Trent.
Oh, it's not even a Dark Order theme. Okay.
No. And a referee, Paul Turner.
Wow. Can't even give you like freaking.
I mean,
Aubrey?
the Trent ones.
Trent one's cool.
Yeah. So, and I did also get for my birthday 4 Prism cards. So I'm just gonna
Nice.
let you know that. I also bought myself an Anna J. We'll do next week.
Oh, look at you. She just turned on the Dark Order and you just get her action figure, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
got to get Take Conti next. And then the whole JAS.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, Vince Basham.
All right, so I'm going to give you a rant on Vince. I'm going to get off screen and just let you rant.
Oh my
just
god.
Do a 6 to 10 minute rant.
You want to have a smoke, don't you?
then I'm going to come back and just put you on blast for it. Okay.
Fair
so
enough.
You rant and I won't interrupt. I won't.
I know you won't. You'll be going for a smoke.
Johnny Hungy might.
Johnny Hungy.
And so if he does, it will be preceded by "You say that, but."
Oh Jesus.
So here you go, man.
All right,
go.
and this is completely off the one job.
Oh, wow! I just put me on. That's as a producer, I'm not the best we have.
Bad to the bone.
There we go. Now I can do it. There you go.
Boom. All right. So Vince McMahon. There has been a lot of good and a lot of bad on the Twitter world, on the Twitter sphere. Some people praising the fact that he retired. Some people saying it's about time. Some people saying thank you. And I'm saying good riddance. Yes, I thank you for the Attitude Era that you have given us. But ultimately, Vince, you've been past your prime for a hot minute. I feel like throughout our 3 years of podcasting, specifically on this show, it has been nothing but Vince needs to leave because all of the creative was going off of one person. And that one person, ladies and gentlemen, has now retired. So hopefully, just like a lot of people in the back who reportedly on SmackDown, we're really happy to see where this goes. Because not only did Vince retire as CEO, he retired completely as a creative booker and everything like that. So he will have nothing to do.
You say that, but I am going to interrupt. There's still a vast majority and over 51% ownership by, geez, Johnny, you're so good at this, by Vince McMahon.
Yes.
In the shares of stock. And so, yes, he needed to retire, but will creative continue to play to an audience of one, knowing that the shares of stock are still just focused on one person?
I don't think so. Now there is debate on that completely, right? But the fact that you hire Triple H back as head of talent relations,
Nick's or Stephanie's are both their decision.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know necessarily. Obviously, Stephanie would have had a role in that, but I think that is also just the smartest decision. You're going to want someone who's been in that role before help you out. There is rumors of John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard potentially leaving as well. So I think you are going to get a batch of fresh blood into the WWE upper management, and I think you absolutely do need it. Sure, Vince owns 51% share of the company, but at the end of the day, they don't have to cater to Vince McMahon. If Vince McMahon sells his stock, sure, that might take a hit. But if ultimately WWE ends up getting the ratings and getting this and getting that, and we finally have some good booking and all that, the ratings will show for themselves, and therefore people will buy more into the company anyways. So I don't think Vince McMahon is going to want to play hardball with, I'm not there, but I have a 51% share, so I'm gonna sell my stock and fuck you guys over market wise for a hot minute. Which, Vince, by the way, please go ahead, because I'll gladly buy more stock in WWE once it gets lower, just so I can get it raised up again, because I truly believe that WWE will bounce back from this and will bounce back a whole lot better. There does need to be a lot of changes, though, in terms of upper management. You need everyone who's been there for the past 30 years to get the F out.
Ooh, hey, they used that 20 years ago.
They did, right?
Thanks for the input, Johnny.
Yeah. Well, no, Johnny was right. Johnny's right. He's certainly a wrestling fan and has been for a hot minute. So by all means, good job, Johnny Yongi, on this one. Yeah, and I think it will be a much better, a much more futuristic, a much more modern WWE. The only person I am maybe a little scared of, because I kind of necessarily don't trust him, would be Nick Khan. I know he's done a lot for the company globally, but I could see Nick Khan especially wanting to potentially sell as quick as possible. Whereas I think Trips and Stephanie can make this, well, if Trips' health, of course, still sticks to being great and all that. But I think
that, but Trips actually said that, released a statement that his health is in fine shape.
That what?
Trips actually released a statement about his health, and he's good to go.
No, I get it. But what if he's not good to go at some point? You know what I mean? Who knows what the future holds? Sure, he's good to go for now, but it's your heart, bro. He has a pacemaker, I think, that's still, you know what I mean? Shit could happen with the heart that's unexplainable, too, you know? So I hope.
Always comes down to matters of the heart. Oh, you're so funny, Johnny Hungy.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, I'm sorry.
And so I think WWE will come out better than this for all around, for the wrestling fans. I don't think you're going to see necessarily changes happen right away. I think you're still going to have to deal with the pullback from eventually these stories coming out. Maybe they won't come out now because Vince had stepped down, but I don't think all the journalists who have wrote those articles are not gonna publish those articles. If there is that many articles still to come out about all this hush money and so on. But enough, as the late great Owen Hart said, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And I just can't believe the change is happening while I am still a young lad and still here talking wrestling. And it's still mind-boggling to me. As soon as I heard the news, I was just in shock. I wanted to check if it was a kayfabe website that I heard this from or something. But it is legit. It is legit. And Tony Khan's little tweet on him being the longest promoter in out of the top 3 was fucking hilarious. People shat on him for it, but the dude's promoting Rampage, like genius on his part. And yeah, I think it's time to. He had the old boys mentality. You know what I mean? I'm surprised and shocked that it took this long for all of these reports about Vince McMahon being an alleged slimy pig. But ultimately, I am glad that it came out because I feel like everybody else knew it in the business already. Just the public didn't. And yeah, I think it's time for a change. And I think this is going to be a breath of fresh air for everybody working in the WWE, from the wrestlers to the writers. to just everybody. You know what I mean? You no longer have that hard ass my way or the highway mentality. You're most likely going to have people who will listen to your ideas, and rumors of maybe there might be a WWE AEW collision of some sort. We saw, what's his name, Xavier Woods mention ROH and New Japan on commentary on SmackDown, which you would have never heard if Vince McMahon was there. So I'm excited to see the future of WWE. Gerald Briscoe mentioned that he was very upset with all the fans and calling the fans a bunch of losers, saying like, you guys should respect a man who has done so much for the wrestling business, and your lives would have been even less sadder without him. Sure, Gerald, I get it. You shouldn't have responded though, because at the end of the day, us wrestling fans do expect a certain amount of ownership to what you're bringing in as wrestling entertainment. Sure, people got to stop living in the past. Yes, Attitude Era was great. Was it just Vince McMahon? No. It was competition with ECW, competition with WCW. You know what I mean? There was just so much added to that plate. I don't think you can just coin Vince McMahon as being the person who completely entertained you. A lot of that stuff that entertained us was all through Austin. Kind of did it on his own by the help of Bret Hart. Sure, Vince McMahon signed off on it, and Vince Austin kind of thing was a whole shindig that really helped the Attitude Era. But ultimately, there's a difference between praise and realistic expectations. And at this point, realistically expecting Vince McMahon to be the man who he was 30 years ago is a no-no. Because so between then and now, so much has changed. And good riddance, Vinnie Mac. You got no chance of hell of ruining my expectations of you putting on a good show of any kind, because you, sir, are retired. And I say good riddance. I hope you had the time of your life being the CEO. Now go vacation somewhere else.
You fucking lying.
And enjoy.
Fucking ridiculous. Did I miss anything while I was gone?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't know. Did Johnny have anything to say?
Johnny, he knew that 20 years ago, something. I don't know. I was too busy rambling. Yeah,
ranting. So the question that I pose, because we know how two positions have been filled. We obviously know Nick Khan filled one of the CEO positions. There's obviously going to be a ton of Vince influence in this organization still. Nick Khan was kind of the pony child behind both the Fox deal and the Saudi deal. There's, like it, love it or hate it, that Saudi deal's 10 years. Like it, love it or hate it, the Fox deal's 5 years. Right. Those are deals between two corporations, and there's no contingency on Vince in those. But the other question is the other roles that Vince held. So things like creative, head of creative. Right. Do we have any guesses as to where that's going to go? There's rumor around. Oh my gosh, there's rumor around so many different people. Kevin Dunn leaving. Right. There's rumor that Brock will probably be allowed to get out of his contract after SummerSlam. If Brock wins at SummerSlam, how does that change everything?
Well, then obviously he won't be leaving.
Yeah. There's just some big pieces to this. Kevin Dunn leaving. I know Smarks was really excited about it. About the concept of Kevin Dunn leaving. I personally think, he did a great job of making rest holds look active by moving the cameras a lot. So I have dirt on my forehead from mowing today. So yeah, that's right. I mowed on my birthday.
Not shower?
I got done mowing at like 9:30, dude.
Oh, okay. Did you not shower? You had an hour.
It's my birthday.
She just don't shower. My birthday.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna shower on my birthday.
I don't have to
Who
shower
showers
my
on their
birthday.
birthday? Oh, such a chore. I ain't doing shit on my birthday. You think showering is one of them? I don't know why.
Sadly, I had to go to a birthday party for not me today.
Wow. Did
My
they know
son had a
your birthday at
classmate.
that birthday party?
My son had a classmate who had a birthday party.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so let's include these things. Who would you pick? Obviously, again, I do think Vince is past his prime. I have to agree with the start of your rant because that's all I knew. Because I was gone. It was just you and Johnny Hungy. It was crazy.
Oh.
No, but I have to agree. Vince was past his prime. I don't know that this gets rid of any of those allegations. I mean, at the end of the day, a non-compete's non-disclosure is a non-disclosure.
Right.
And if they get back the money, they may be able to sue for a hell of a lot more.
But if they still have the money, hopefully everyone invested with that money and now has a shit ton more to show for it. Hopefully.
I think obviously Fox is probably going to be a little bit stringent here. I think this affects the purview of Fox and NBC, Universal, both in terms of trying to figure out how they're going to approach their future contracts or this existing contract. There's certainly going to be a lot more scrutiny on the product, which leads us to the rumor of the week last week regarding WWE, and that is that they were going back to the TV 14 era. So it's no longer PG era. It's going to be, TV 14 or PG 13, however people want to treat it. So
right.
blood, boobs, and I don't know, some other word that starts with B, not being bitches. So blood, boobs, and
boobs,
beat downs.
There
we go. So I don't have a clue where that heads from here. Does Eric Bischoff come into the picture here?
No, I don't think you need. I don't want Vince Russo. I don't want Eric Bischoff. I don't want Jim Cornette. I want someone.
Two of those are completely ruled out. They're widely considered oblivious in the industry.
I want someone new.
So, do you think Paul Heyman takes over creative?
I think Paul Heyman might be a good start. He still.
I don't know that he's the long-term solution. But he certainly
definitely
can keep the storylines together.
Right. And we've seen, I think it's maybe unfair to say I don't want to see any old heads per se with Eric Bischoff or whatever have you. But because at the end of the day, every time we've seen them be in creative, it was when they were tailoring to one person. Yeah. So in reality, I can't even necessarily give anyone slack yet because now it's go time. I think Paul Heyman and Stephanie have a good
yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the
relationship,
day,
I guess.
I love that Tony Khan's slinging some mud, but Tony Khan's obviously got, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, his own demons that are starting to rear their heads. Because of creative direction and because when you have two people in a room, there's going to be a disagreement. When you have 20 people in a room, there's going to be more disagreements. When you have 200 people, you're going to get a cycle of people who say, I don't want to fucking be in this room anymore.
Right.
And so that's going to show up. You may have Michael Cole loyalty, and he just up and leaves. I don't foresee that being a thing, but I don't think
Michael Cole would do that. That dude loves wrestling and only knows WWE. I don't see him leaving.
I don't think that's one, but you're going to have Kevin Dunn's the prime example, the one who's actually stated, or there's actual rumors about that he's going to be leaving. Joe Briscoe leaves, that doesn't fucking hurt his soul. But boy, does it affect things if like Kevin Dunn leaves. That's going to change the entirety of camera angles and shots and all that stuff.
Bro, there's so many people. I mean, yes, I'm sure there's, not, I guess it's a somewhat of a creative, unique thing to be able to film a wrestling broadcast, I guess, perhaps. But I'm sure there's people capable enough, um, elsewhere. I don't think just because he's been in that role for 50 years, I don't know, 30 years, 20 years. He's been in that role for so long. That's all we can think. I'm sure there's people there that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who knows how to handle the control room good or whatever, but I'm sure there's plenty of other people that can do what Kevin Dunn did. And maybe we might even appreciate it more.
Yeah,
Maybe
we might get somebody better, or we might get somebody who's not as good, and we go, "Oh, Kevin Dunn wasn't so bad."
I don't see Kevin Dunn really. Sure, he's the one that kind of showcases how we see things on WWE, but I mean, look at AEW. AEW has someone completely we don't know, and we have absolutely no problem with it. So a change, and it's different from WWE as well, right? So I encourage the change. I think we're going to be in a new era of WWE, so to speak, the post Vince era, and I'm down for it. I think it's going to help out with everything. If the camera angles and whatnot isn't there right from the get go, it's going to feel weird because we're so used to a certain WWE for so long. But ultimately, I think it's what's needed. And the old expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? WWE's been broke for a hot minute and they still didn't fix it. They kept it broken. It was a broken toy. They tried to put glue together. It broke off again. Let's try to use the super glue. No. And then everything just smashed into pieces in the form of hush money allegations for 16 years. And, you know what I mean? I think it's time for a new toy. I think you finally go out and you buy a new toy.
We don't need to talk about when the stuff Vince is going to do in his personal time like that.
No, Jesus Christ. I wasn't referring to the sexual allegations as the toy. I was referring to just new blood, new fresh blood in that company is what you're going to need. And I think Paul Heyman is going to have a really strong role for the foreseeable future. Maybe not, but I don't see. And oh my God, what does this mean for Cody Rhodes too?
Yeah, I mean, this echoes through lots of things. I think Cody's
what
fine.
I mean?
I think Cody's fine, but it echoes through what's it mean for the AEW roster. Are there people who currently work for AEW who would not work for Vince, but would work for Trips and Nick Khan and Stephanie? Now, that still leaves CM Punk, the future the current AEW champion, and Jon Moxley, the former or the current interim AEW champion, with AEW. So I'm not trying to imply that either of their interim or their current AEW champion are on the way out. But we've already seen the biggest name in AEW leave AEW for WWE.
Oh my God, imagine MJF in WWE now.
Are there
without
names?
Vince's control?
Is that why we don't have MJF yet? Is that why there isn't a confirmation of MJF leaving? Was this planned longer? I mean, there's so many pieces to this that are,
Who's he good friends with in WWE?
Huh?
Who's he good friends with in WWE? Bruce Pritchard?
I don't know.
I know he was really tight with someone in WWE. So
Vince or
no, MJF.
MJF. I don't know if Bruce Pritchard ends up gone. He may be the guy who leaves because of his loyalties. So Brother Love is going to be leaving, maybe. I don't know. do we see a change in the pay-per-view formats? There's just so much that can change here,
which is exciting.
It is.
Very,
and
very
exciting. There's gonna be pains. There's gonna be, Nick Khan's very, very good business prowess in terms of finding ways to make additional revenue. Don't translate to the wrestling ring. And Stephanie's history of understanding the wrestling ring is obviously tainted by Stephanie's unwillingness to take the fall. Trips, I almost think Trips overseeing creative is a good idea with somebody else being the head of creative. That's how he oversees it. So, MJF and Cody are good friends in real life. Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you, Fernando.
Good to see
there you go.
Man.
Fernando always got
Welcome
our back.
Welcome back, buddy. We don't have any smarts tonight, just so everybody remembers. We do have a stand-in, and that's Johnny Hungy here, coming in as a stand-in, doing a great
job.
Hungy. Yeah, Johnny Hungy on the ball here. So we're gonna take him back off screen for a second, because otherwise he's gonna say something like, "You say that, bud."
You say that, bud.
So
Johnny Hungy.
I guess I want to know what your predictions are without having to do a Tuesday show, a fantasy booking. I want to know what your real predictions are, not a fantasy booking of who you'd like to see in some of those roles, but give me 5 things you think change. We'll take turns here.
Okay. I'm going to be off camera for a second because I need to go.
I'm going to bring Johnny Hungy back on. So
there you go. Hey. Whoop. 5 things that I want to see change.
No, that you think, like, how certain things will change. So, for example, I'm going to say thing number 1 for me is I think Paul Heyman takes over creatives in an interim role, and I think that lasts for about 12 months.
Question that's totally unrelated. I'm going to take a blood test tomorrow. You're supposed to not eat or drink for 12 hours, right? That's a thing. So coffee's a no-no?
That would be a drink. That's considered a beverage by most people.
Damn it. All right.
It'll be a shorter cast tonight, so you don't have to stay up forever.
No, so well, I obviously think that the booking portion of things after SummerSlam, we are certainly going to be seeing, I feel, maybe September, we're going to start seeing the new creative kind of take a little bit more control. I think with the TV 14 happening, I think we are going to see Trips really showcase a lot more. I think we might eventually see what NXT Black and Gold was in a WWE format on the main roster. I just don't know how they're going to still. We might get War Games on like a Raw, which might be weird.
That's exciting to think about. Some of those bigger name pay-per-views that they own because of WCW. That's not a bad move at all.
You know what I mean? I think now we're gonna actually see competition between the two companies in terms of wrestling. I think we're gonna see the ricochets being utilized better. The 24/7 championship just not being a thing anymore.
I don't know that that's the case. I think 24/7 championship moves to being a 24/7 championship, meaning we get random notifications on our phone from WWE.com or WWE on YouTube or if you have the subscription and the bell. I think, oh my gosh, thus and such happened. I'd love to see a change in the format to the 24/7 championship.
Yes,
meaning you can be challenged at any time, but you have a certain amount of preparation time for this random match. This is a very good point, Fernando. If Bruce Pritchard is in charge, not much will change. However, we don't know what Bruce Pritchard's role will change to. We do know that Triple H is in.
Well, what's Bruce Pritchard's role right now? He was head of talent relations, right?
Let's look it up.
Come on, Johnny.
Good
Hungy.
idea, Johnny
It's supposed to be Smarks. But yeah, I just also do think that we're just gonna we have to get something. It's weird because based off of the ratings, they are doing far better, of course, than what AEW is doing for a flagship show compared to AEW Dynamite and Raw. But at the same time, USA Network is more widely distributed than, let's say, TBS or TNT. So that might have something to play into something. And ratings don't necessarily mean that I don't think Vince leaving will stop fans from watching the product. Those who are just loyal wrestling fans, who have just been loyal and WWE lifers and not watching anything else, will change. But I do think if the product does get a lot better, which I see happening now, because you're no longer booking for one guy, you are booking for a team of people and possibly also getting wrestler input. You are certainly going to get older fans who have stopped watching perhaps coming back as well, and maybe even AEW fans.
Yeah.
Head of creative.
Pritchard was head of creative until Saturday. Saturday, Trips was named head of creative. Or no, I'm sorry. Trips was talent relations. Pritchard had been moved to talent relations in June when the allegations started. I don't. Vince was head of creative. I don't know if he is. If Richard is right now, I don't think he should be. That's a horrible move. I think the right move for Pritchard is out the door. But
I think Paul Heyman and Trips might be a fun time, man.
Yeah, I think
Paul Heyman and Trips take the reins of creative. I do think that's a lot of stress on. I think Paul Heyman would love to take that, but that's a lot of stress on Trips.
Right now, the official role for Pritchard is senior vice president, and that makes him the executive director over SmackDown and Raw. So he's the one who's making sure the shows are set up when they get there. He's the one who's making sure it's all ready to rock and roll. But once the lights are on, at least for the last few months, it hasn't been him backstage. It's been Vince and Gorilla. So it does make you wonder who's going to be in Gorilla position.
Yeah. So who was it? Because Vince McMahon wasn't there on SmackDown, right? At all. Not even backstage. So
who ran GORILLA on WWE Smack again 7/22 back when I was a year younger. I don't know that SmackDown got rewritten at all.
Well, I mean, parts of it did due to the whole Brock shenanigans, and there was the rumor that it was going to be Goldberg versus Roman, which, thank fucking God. I mean, honestly, I could care less for either one, Brock or Goldberg, for SummerSlam. I think it's a stupid match regardless, but I thank the Lord that Goldberg was Brock came to his senses and Goldberg didn't come in, because I'm not down to see Roman versus Goldberg. Either way, Roman's winning, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it doesn't say who was Gorilla position. So
you're not going to definitely get it that way. You would have to read like a dirt sheet that was talking about SmackDown and whatever, and then because they're going to talk about Vince's
announcement. Fuck you then. You look it up, huh?
I know. I will let some.
I mean, that's what Johnny Hungy says.
No, Johnny Hungy would be looking it up, and instead he's just
I do know that a lot is going to change. Between now and December, we will have several job roles change. I'm excited.
I'm excited to check out the stock market tomorrow, because when Vince made his announcement, it was at $66 a share. So I'm curious to know if that's going to. I think it might go down.
I was gonna say, people who invest look at that and go, "Whoa, I don't know what's coming next." So
That's it. And so they just buy out. And I've only been recently doing the whole stock thing. So I haven't got to WWE's like total rankings and all that. But I'm hoping it goes I'm not ready yet. I'm hoping it goes down. So yeah. But I think it's gonna go back up. It's gonna go back up because we are gonna heck, man. Even who knows, man, The Rock might maybe take some share into the company too. You never know, man. He bought XFL, all that. Who knows? He has a great relationship with NBC. So it could very well be a thing. Very well be a thing. And
very much so.
I think this is what was needed. I was dun, 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 dun. Yeah. I was really pleasantly surprised. I was shocked, but pleasantly surprised with the news. I think this is great for wrestling fans. Anyone will tell you don't have to make it a WWE thing. Any job that you're in, and let's say you've been there for so long, and your boss has been running a program that's been outdated for so long, but he doesn't want to change because it works, and it's worked for him all these years, and he's still a company, and whatever he says goes. But you're frustrated because you know that there is programs that are much faster and can make you just your efficiency level just so much better. But this boss of yours has an old mentality, and that's what Vince was. Vince was that boss with a very old mentality, and ultimately needed to get the boot. And I'm curious to see if these other stuff is going to come out.
I want to see better stories. I have to agree.
I think that's.
I guess what I really don't want to see again is Brock Roman. I will say Brock Roman's been the thing that's kept them reasonably entertaining, and this is not me supporting Brock Roman. It's just at the end of the day.
What's been well? Look, I mean, we just saw that Madison Square Garden was sold out, right? Yes, I get it. It's Madison Square Garden, but the only thing that's been announced for Madison Square Garden was that Brock and Roman were going to be on the show.
Yeah.
So we also got to go not just to a fan's point, but also what sells. And Nick Khan now, especially that he's co-CEO, is going to look at what sells, and that's why I am scared to see what he's gonna do with it. Perhaps he's not ahead of creative, but because he's co-CEO, he certainly does have a little bit of say, or a lot of say rather. I just don't know. I don't know what he's gonna. It could easily turn into him wanting to flip the company to someone else because he's just sick of. Now he's I guess he was kind of always CEO. He kind of did what he wanted and made Vince a shit ton of money, and Vince kind of looked to him for a lot of things. So, and I think he'll just do what he does in his global crazy way of getting WWE on the market there. But I see him potentially. I don't think he wants to be CEO of WWE though. Like, I think he just wants to do what he knows. I mean, I don't think he wants to be there. I think he'll be fed up at one point and maybe might want to sell it. Just because I don't think he wants to run the company. I think he just wants to do what he knows in terms of promoting it in a global scale, which he's done in the past 2 years.
You can't sell it. That comes down to the shareholders. So, and again, would be Vince. So, second piece to that. So you've had a couple predictions. I'm going to predict a couple wrestlers who show up on WWE. I do think Bray Wyatt shows back up.
Triple H will listen to him and listen to all of his ideas for sure. So
I also believe we're not far from Johnny Gargano showing back up.
Trips also really liked him a lot. So did Sean. Trips listens to Sean. Sean listens to
No,
Trips.
I'm not saying that'll
Gargano
be on
listens to both.
NXT. I mean, that could very easily
Main
be
roster.
on NXT.
Dude,
You know, it's
Adam
the main
Cole would have fucking stayed if this happened a
Yep.
year ago.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to give AEW their shots and stick there for a while. I would not be surprised to see Brian Cage be the next to jump ship. I really wouldn't be surprised to see Miro be in that category.
I don't know, man. Miro's getting a pretty decent push now. I don't know if he's going to want to go anywhere just yet.
Well, the push isn't always the piece, though. Sometimes it's the money. Sometimes it's the. For some people, it's the money. For some people, it's the prestige. Some people, it's the how am I being written. That's part of what Vince missed so often. He always thought money was the answer, and sometimes it. With CM Punk, it was write me better, just write me good.
Right.
And so those types of things. So I did go ahead and open that package. So we've got a Wendy Chu NXT card.
Hey, nice.
I don't know that that's a big win. We do have a legend card here.
Ooh. Brother.
With one Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
By the way, his interview with Sami Zayn was epic.
We have a guy who I don't really know named Joe Gacy. NXT wrestler.
Oh, yep. Speaking of NXT, we had 2 NXT stars show up in AEW. You had Bordeaux, whatever the hell his name was, the next Brock Lesnar, showed up on Elevation, and then you also had what's his face, Cole Carter, who was Two Dimes something, Troy Two Dimes or whatever. He swam with the fishes in NXT. Yeah. They killed him off. So, just in case no one knows.
Not least, the fearless Randy Orton card.
I think he hears voices in his head. They come to him. They understand that Vince had to leave and retire.
In the Fearless series, Randy Orton is number 12.
Hey.
So, fun little set of cards there. I actually kind of like the other ones better. But these are really thick. He wasn't joking when Smart said that these were thick. These are definitely thick.
No, yep.
Big, thick cards. Thick.
The thickest.
2 C's. Thick.
That's
2 C's.
That's creme de la thick right there.
That's thicker than thick. That's like blood.
That's thick.
Water.
Oh,
thick.
I got the water.
Nothing from Ambrosia. We're saying
nothing.
Thick 16 times. She says nothing.
Nothing.
Anyway, so any expectations on how it affects the rest of the industry?
I think Tony Khan has to be careful now. I think that
the bids for wrestlers is going to get very different.
Very different. It's going to be very difficult now. And
if I was a big dude, I'd be nervous.
I mean, but why? I think Stephanie really had a Vince mentality for a good chunk of things. I think we saw her maybe change that with her women's division by sprucing that up and finally making what was the name of the thing? Not Women Deserve Better, but it was like whatever. When women finally became like legitimate wrestlers to the point of women's evolution, I guess that's it. Yes. So we see her change. Maybe the fact that she's been married to Trips for so long too has also maybe changed her mindset as well. Seeing how Triple H cares for the business and so on and so forth. I don't think we're going to see Shane back anytime soon. I think there was a lot of there's a sibling rivalry there. That I had read a report that that they don't necessarily get along all that well due to the fact of what was going to happen if Vince were to die or retire. And I think both of them kind of always were in kind of like turmoil. But I think Vince maybe might have settled that a while ago, thinking that Steph was going to take over.
Shane kind of sold himself out of that, so he didn't want to be a part of that anymore.
Yeah,
but
so
I will say,
but I mean, he was at Royal Rumble, so
there are some characters I believe should be nervous. Now there are some that you'll say that I would disagree with. I wouldn't. I don't think. Jinder Mahal needs to be nervous, for example. I think Jinder Mahal has a job. I do think Shanky should be nervous. Omos might need to be nervous. Very easily replaced with a Braun Strowman who feels like maybe he has a little more creative control in his life or something.
I think Braun is too much issues though. I think Braun's a tad bit crazy.
Could be.
I think he's more of a PR mistake
Nightmare
waiting to happen. So
yeah.
I don't know. Braun is, one of the most agile big guys that agile. That's it. Big guys that we have seen. But unfortunately, his antics outside of the ring and his personal, although WWE doesn't do anything with political stuff and religion and so on and so forth,
they do require vaccination.
They do. It's true. He's not
because they travel to places where vaccines are required. Like,
yeah, that's it. But he wants to control his own narrative, and let him do his thing.
We won't see Nia Jax. I don't think.
Nope. Same scenario there. After all, she did say she was a Vince girl, so
we might see resolution to the Sasha Banks thing. Holy shit, I just realized that.
Well, I mean, I don't know because it depends on that contract too.
Right? I would agree, except for Friday. Maximum Male Models should be very nervous. I agree, except for Friday. They featured the boys in the back.
The boys in the back, and now we have
I feel like
Maxine.
They're going to run with that mid-card faction, man.
I think they are. And I don't.
Do we see more factions? Do we see more top tier factions? More.
I think you're going to see a lot more people be utilized for sure. You're not just gonna. You're still going to see your Roman for sure. You know what I mean?
The guy puts asses in seats.
Right. Absolutely, he does. So you will definitely still see those people, but I think you're gonna see a lot more Kevin Owens. You're gonna see a lot more Seth. Granted, we already kind of do, but you're gonna see a lot more of him in a bigger role. I feel like you're also going to Cody Rhodes, of course, will still be up there.
I think Bobby Lashley.
I think you're going to see Bobby Lashley goes into a much bigger role,
especially
Tommaso Ciampa.
If Brock leaves.
Especially, yeah, I think Lashley will be taking Brock's place as a beast. I think that's a given, and what would happen there. Yeah. I think Theory will still kind of get pushed.
I think Theory's going to be a transitional champion, just to separate the two championships for Roman.
Well, I don't think he's ready yet. Is the thing. I don't think he's genuinely ready yet to be that big star. I think maybe next WrestleMania, if a lot more things happen with him, could be a thing. But as of right now,
you don't think they'll even use him as a transitional champion? Huh?
I don't know, man. I think they might hold that Money in the Bank
all the way to WrestleMania.
Maybe.
Well, that might be a good move. In terms of
he's definitely not using it at SummerSlam. I'll tell you that much.
Some of the women's wrestlers that we've lost. I don't think we're going to get Kairi Sane back.
Right.
I don't think we have hope at the Four Horsewomen setup. But I do think that this plays out differently. I mean, I think SummerSlam ends up being different than it was written. And we won't have any proof of that, but I think it ends up being different than it was written. And I don't know how, other than maybe they were going to have Brock get the win. Maybe
I think it's too soon, or else Vince getting rid of LA Knight on TV. That apparently was something that was done a few weeks back, and now we only see that taken to fruition. I don't think you're going to see SummerSlam change at all. It's too soon.
You think they're going to roll with the next month's worth of?
I think they'll roll with the next month's worth.
Let the writers do their job for once.
Well, I mean, I just because we talk about, oh man, it's like they almost have nothing planned. When I heard about that LA Knight fiasco, or Max Dupree whole fiasco, Max Dupree, and that was something that was announced like a few weeks back that Vince had decided to do, but it was one of his last creative control things that he did. I don't see them necessarily making huge changes because it's just so soon.
Yeah.
Unless they cram everybody into a writer's room until SummerSlam.
Or
and
do
say,
they
guys,
completely separate themselves, at least kayfabe wise, separate themselves from Vince and go, Raw 2.0 and SmackDown 2.0, type thought process, I guess. Does NXT get rebranded?
I feel like you need to. I feel like NXT should come back as Black and Gold, and they just do like an invasion angle between. I don't even know who's there in NXT anymore.
Well, if you can get Gargano back, and you take Ciampa down, then you can have those guys run an invasion angle.
You bring back Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not anywhere.
Make the phone calls, man.
Make that phone call, man.
It's been happening over the last 24 hours. There's been calls about wrestlers. That there's wrestlers who are going, do I have a job still? Veer Mahan, will he continue to come?
Well, they wrote him off, right? Because he went crazy.
No,
they didn't write people. Him off. I think they wrote him off because he's not doing anything, and then I think he was back on the event.
He had an interview on Monday,
and he said "boo," and that was it.
Well, they're changing him to scary jump out of the closet guy.
I don't know.
Who knew that he was in the closet when he was coming? Huh.
Jesus, I feel bad for anyone who has to clean that closet up.
6 months straight.
Oh man. Oh.
We got what if Cody Rhodes defeats Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? No way cashing in the Money in the Bank.
Well, I mean, he could still cash in the Money in the Bank.
Cody didn't have it, so
yeah, but I mean, Theory does. So Theory can
cash it in and lose.
Yeah,
that works for me. I think Roman's out of both titles before WrestleMania. I think The Rock's back in that time. In fact, I expected to see The Rock in the next 3 to 4 weeks in a This Is Your Life Vince McMahon episode that we're definitively going to get.
You think?
We're gonna get thanks for the years.
I feel like we got that with SmackDown.
I feel like there's going to be a hell of a lot more of it.
But then again, that's true because they couldn't really do much.
They didn't have much preparation time.
I mean, I feel like they might have, though. I mean, no one knew this was happening.
Some news was released to them that was going to press.
Dude, Friday. That's what I want to know, though. Like, how bad could this news have been?
What straw broke the camel's back?
What straw broke the camel's back? I'm usually not the one for drama, but man.
I mean, this is a dude who wrote a storyline, love storyline with his daughter, and finally got told, no, that's not going to work.
Right.
No.
I mean, I was really attracted to Stephanie back then, but I'm not.
I still am.
Her father.
She's a billionaire to be. So
yeah, straight up.
I just don't have anything that Trips does,
Trips will kill you. Yeah.
Except for a heart that
nothing
currently doesn't have a pacemaker.
So you don't even have that. Give it time. Jesus Christ. Oh, I hope everything's okay with my blood test. I swear to God.
So, this is the point where Smarks usually gets frustrated and starts wanting to talk about AEW a whole bunch. because we've talked so much about WWE and the drama that is real life drama that is WWE. But
and here's the hoping next week or the week after, man, we start, making it even Steven. We do WWE talk and we do AEW talk. It is, I think, going to be a great time to be a wrestling fan, good sir.
Yeah, I really agree. Think so. I mean, we had so many discussions when Trips was running NXT about what was the higher quality product, and there were several times we thought that NXT was the higher quality product.
Right.
And of course, Mark's made the excuse of the quality of wrestlers and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, that's going to show up. That's going to rear its ugly head again. And it may show up in the mainline product. Now, there's still the input of USA and Fox to consider. And so that's still going to play into this. But
right.
So was the 17th, did the 17th week of Fyter Fest wrap up today? Is that what it was, or Friday?
Yes. So
Fyter Fest show. Fuck me, that's too long.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It was just 2 weeks. It was Dynamite just 2 weeks. Rampage.
That motherfucker complains about.
But hold on, we got Fight for the Fallen. We got Fight for the Fallen.
I mean, my God.
I don't get his little special events though. It's just kind of like, and why do you do it right after? Oh, now it's Fyter Fest. Now it's Fight for the Fallen.
The piece. You know what it reminds me of? When Impact went to pay-per-views on as the regular show.
Right.
This week is this. This week is this. When Impact went to that, and it was just like, oh, this is our last ditch effort to make this one important. Fuck me, Tony.
Well, I mean, I really don't give a shit. At the end of the day, I think it's a Dynamite.
Fyter Fest.
I just think it's a Dynamite. Whatever.
Yeah. So make Fyter Fest a Fyter Fest,
Well, they did. I think. I think they. Well, I think because of the special Bob Dwyer match. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna have it. Call it a special event, and then maybe what happened on Rampage? Nothing necessarily crazy happened on Rampage though. So I don't know. Nothing special. But I mean, we have Daniel Bryan coming back next week.
Right. Or Bryan Danielson. He'll also be there.
I mean, he'll also be there. Fighting Daniel Garcia, which I think he was the first person that fought him when Bryan Danielson debuted. So give me that match was fucking fire. And I'm sure this one's going to be just as good. So yeah. Yeah. So AEW, what did you think of the Bob Dwyer match?
I came in very, very late Wednesday, and so I fell asleep watching AEW, so I did not see the part match
at all. Okay.
I had a killer, exhaustive week.
I mean, all I'm hearing is excuses.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch it. All right. So that just means
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep during it. So you didn't watch
commercials happen, and they kicked me in the teeth.
Oh, Kashmir.
Oh, Kashmir. But I did see some video of it.
You really got to take the bull by the hands. That's an old commercial. I don't think they play that commercial anymore. That might be a Canadian thing.
I don't know if they ever played it in the U.S.
Bull by the hands? No. Okay. I think it's like an insurance commercial.
Tell me what you want.
Give me what I want.
Give me what
I want. And I got it. Vince is now retired. Hallelujah. Yep. And that's not to say that I'm bitter and that I don't appreciate everything he's done for the business and yada, yada, yada. But this news has been 15 years in the making, man. Like, get out. Get out. Out with the old, in with the new. Let's go. Let's see what the new WWE era has to offer. That was 20 years ago was get the F out. Now we got the V out. Let's go.
So now it's going to be VDW. No, not venereal disease.
No, it's just going to be a WWE post Vince McMahon, and I'm excited. It was good until the end of it. Barbed wire match. Yeah, it was fun. It was a kind of a weird little ending. I almost felt like they ran out of time. Then Sammy Guevara didn't sell the kick in the nuts, and then he just threw him out. And then, hey, we forgot to use the spider web, barbed wire. Let's throw him in there now. Jericho did get stretchered out, so he got injured. I think he broke his elbow or something, or maybe just it was an injury. But yeah, it was halfway decent. A lot of cool spots happened on the barbed wire match, but I don't know. I maybe was expecting more, but it was good. I guess I can't complain. It's a barbed wire match, shit ton of barbed wire. I love how it started though, with him taking the mic and just fucking.
All I can say is I don't ever get excited for, and it's horrible, but I don't get excited for Eddie Kingston. I feel bad saying that out loud.
I mean, I don't know. I think he's kind of. Do you get excited for Moxley?
Yeah.
I think he's kind of a Moxley. He's just. I feel like he's more of a crazier Moxley. Moxley can wrestle though. That's valid. Aside from the wrestling, but I mean more of the hardcoreness of it. Are you still excited when you see Moxley in those hardcore matches and does his dirty deeds 5,000 times and maybe randomly?
I mean, I you two both love Kingston's promos, and I'm just like, oh.
Really? Okay, then you just a fucking Kingston hater.
I am.
I don't know. Yeah. Why though? You don't know. You just don't like it. You don't like his face? You don't like
I didn't like Stone Cold, dude. It took me forever to like Stone Cold.
Damn. What?
You heard me. It took me forever to like Stone Cold.
What?
I don't know why, but like everybody was on the Stone
When
Cold
did it take you to like Stone Cold? Well, when was that time that was like, oh shit, fuck, I like Stone Cold.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. It was probably when he turned with Vince.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Eddie sucks.
Thank you, Fernando.
Are you randomly Fernando this whole time? Is that what that is? Is that... I get why people maybe don't like Eddie Kingston. I just think he's a great promo guy, though. I think he's very sincere and genuine with it too, and it comes off that way. Yeah. So I don't know. I enjoy it.
I sincerely and genuinely like carbs, but I shouldn't eat them.
That's fair.
You can be sincere and genuine and not be entertaining.
That's true. Whew. It's fucking hot.
So, anything else you got, or are we going to cut this one short? We don't
I don't know. Fernando, was there anything else you would like us to talk about? Maybe hear our
we can talk about the fact that Tony Khan. So, I kind of put Smarks on.
Okay, by the way, today. ROH, when you do watch it, FTR Briscoes, didn't watch the Super Card of Honor one, so I can't say it was better than that one, but this fucking match was fuego. It's the main event of ROH.
It was the one we predicted to be the best match.
Yeah. I mean, it was just you have to.
Yeah,
the Claudio Castagnoli match, decent.
So did Claudio win?
Claudio won. Yes, he's your ROH champion. Cool. First ever. Yeah, and the dude was super excited by it.
And is that part of what Grisham's pissed off about?
I don't necessarily think that's it. I just think maybe he's kind of. No, exactly. Now, I don't think he thinks that. I just think he's maybe been kind of trying to reach Tony for a hot minute and wondering like what the fuck has been going on. And I think it's more along the lines of, okay, I'll roll with it. Okay, I'll roll with it, but I have questions. Okay,
he wants to know when there's going to be a television deal and shit like that.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to know a little bit more so he can plan his stuff ahead. Like, hey, buddy, what's happening with me? Like,
Well, I think so. here's my Tony Khan advocate side. You get to do whatever the fuck you want as long as it's not on a night I tell you have to be with me. Literally, you can go wrestle anywhere you want.
Right.
As long as it's not a night that I say you need to wrestle with me.
Right.
You know, on the
I also think at the same time too, it might be along the lines of, okay, listen, I get to use all my same names and stuff or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe he's also just going through something as well. He disabled his Twitter account. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's necessarily all geared towards Tony, or maybe Gresham himself is dealing with other stuff too. It's hard to say. We'd only know so much. But maybe he just feels that he's getting some kind of shaft and it might be hurting his overall namesake. You know what I mean? Hey, you turned me heel. I have never been heel. People love me as a face. What's kind of going on? Okay, but I'll do it. I trust you. And then you're not going to do shit with me. Hey, this is kind of fucking me up for future stuff that I would do on the indies now, though. So can you please tell me what the fuck is going on so I can better prepare for my indie shows and my gimmick and so on? You know what I mean? You have me in a faction now and I'm a heel and then I lose this title. Like, what story are you trying to tell here? I maybe get his frustration a bit, but I don't think it's just, I think it's really just due to the fact that there's no clarity in what his role is in what he's doing now. And I think maybe he's frustrated, perhaps, you know. I don't know if Jordan Grace ever said anything. I don't think Jordan Grace would ever say anything.
So, also Fernando said the Ric Flair last match was pretty darn good.
That didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
What match did you see?
I don't know.
Can you put that comment on the thing? I think you're reading it wrong. The card for Ric Flair's last match is pretty damn good. The card.
Oh, the card. Okay, I get what he's saying. Yeah. I mean, in fact, the Briscoes versus the Von Erichs.
Shit! I don't know this card. Can you get this card for me?
Yeah. So we've got Briscoes versus Von Erichs, Ren Narita and Clark Connors, which sounds great. Remember, Clark Connors was the one in that four-way for the Transatlantic Championship or whatever. Killer Cross is taking on Karrion.
Yes.
Or Killer Cross is taking on Harry Smith. That's a great match.
That should be a great match. Yeah.
Rachel Ellerine, Deonna Purrazzo, and Jordan Grace for the Knockouts Championship.
Wow. Okay.
Impact World Title match: Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu.
I haven't seen Jacob Fatu wrestle.
You have. You just don't remember it.
Okay. That's fair.
We got Laredo Kid with Bandito. Bandito was a former ROH champion, the last one before he had to lose to Jonathan Gresham. Ray versus Ray Phoenix and Taurus. I've never seen Taurus wrestle. But everybody else there is entertaining. So the Wolves, which is Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. Have you seen any Eddie Edwards with the Impact?
Yes, he's pretty good.
Versus the Motor Shitty Machine Guns. They are not Motor Shitty. They are not Motor Shitty. They are Motor Good. And Rock and Roll Express, except for Robert Gibson, is on the sidelines. So Kerry and Ricky Morton are going to be taking on Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson.
Ooh, that's a neat little second generation versus old generation.
Well, versus father-son. So,
why? Hold on. Wait, it's Rock and Roll Express.
Kerry and Ricky Morton. So Kerry is Ricky's son.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, that's cool. Cool story to tell there.
Yeah, I actually am least looking forward to that match. I get no excitement from Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson. Brian Pillman Jr. by himself versus like Kerry Morton.
Maybe.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I think Karen Morton Well, I don't know, but the Rock and Roll Express, given how old they are, can still go though. So just him alone, I don't know. Whatever. I prefer that match over than
and
the
Ric Flair
match.
bleeding to death.
I mean, I
Dying in the
hope that
ring.
happens. I hope that happens.
You hope he
But
dies.
I
That's
think
so
he wants
fucked.
to. I think he wants to though.
I mean,
Like, who am I to stop from what the guy wants to do? I don't think it's going to happen because you have his son-in-law and you have the guy that trained you, and then you have Jeff Jarrett who can't fucking wrestle, all in the same matchup. Who's not going to let that happen? Johnny Huggy, where are you going?
he's disappointed in you for wanting Ric Flair to die.
Woo!
He thinks you're trying to suggest that Ric Flair's jealous of Owen Hart, which is the most fucked up thing he could possibly say.
That is fucked up. I mean, I feel like he might.
You
hold
just
some
said
envy
Ric
for
Flair
that.
wants to die in the ring.
I feel like he might be envious towards that. Perhaps I feel like I'm going to get a lot of slack for that. I feel like that's maybe
so
Ric
fucked
Flair's
up.
goal, though, dude. It's going to be a shitty match, though. That Ric Flair's last match, this whole pay-per-view, is literally the worst match on the card. And it's literally named after him.
There's a couple on there that seem like they might be worse, but there's a nostalgia.
I mean, okay, granted, I'm
nostalgia
all
has
down
value.
to see Jay Lethal versus Andrade.
The Wolves versus Motor City Machine Guns, I'm never disappointed in that concept.
Fair.
Um,
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think there's any worse match than the Ric Flair.
with the exception of the Kerry and Ricky Morton versus Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
I can't necessarily disagree with you.
Right? No, you can't. I mean, if you did, you'd be fucking stupid.
I don't even know what to fucking say to that. I just did disagree with you because I said one is worse.
No, but you said other than that, I can't disagree. I'm like, well, if you did, then
But I did actually disagree.
I know. All right, just carry on away, my son. Don't you cry no more.
Carry on, my Johnny Huggy.
Don't you hung no more.
Don't you hung no more?
I don't know.
Are we making penis jokes tonight? Because I feel like penis jokes are inappropriate.
I mean, if you were thinking penis jokes, by all means, it's your birthday, bud. You can think whatever you'd like.
Again, Brock Anderson's in this match.
No, bro, Brock Anderson isn't that bad. It's just
Brock
AEW
Anderson and Ricky Morton are in that match. I guess he's giving you a win because he said Eddie sucks earlier for me. So Fernando, I appreciate you giving me a win earlier.
He's evening it out. He's evening it out. He doesn't want to play favorites.
Thank you, Fernando, for the happy birthday.
Thank you for. There you go.
So, anyway, I don't really have a whole lot else to say.
No, I mean, I think that's fine. I think we'll, in terms of, we'll probably book what a post WWE Vince McMahon will be probably most likely on Tuesday. And maybe that's when we'll also do the ROH recap. Or, if you guys haven't watched yet, maybe we'll just randomly do hey guys, check this out, and randomly do a Twitch live for that as like a little exclusive for an ROH recap.
FTR versus
we can even do a watch along if you guys want, because honestly, I'd be all down to watch that again.
The FTR versus Briscoes or the whole
just
ROH
the whole fucking card. We'll do like a replay watch along.
Did Gresham put Castagnoli in the stretcher?
I believe he did, yeah.
Oh.
It was the first match, by the way.
They had the World Championship first?
Yep. That might have been maybe one of the reasons that really ticked them off too, though.
Why would you book the World Championship first?
Because your tag match was going to be the main event.
That makes sense, FTR and the Briscoes.
Right.
Yeah. We might have to do a watch along. So
I'd be down with that. Super down with that.
For at least that match. We can't do the whole card.
We can do the whole card.
It's a Tuesday night.
We could do the whole. No, I mean, not on Tuesday. I just mean a general thing, like when we're all free.
Well, that's a Twitch exclusive. All of our watch alongs and botch alongs and stuff like that are Twitch exclusives. So Fernando,
we got to get our botch alongs ready.
Love having you Yeah, we need to do a 13 episodes so we can put a whole season together again.
Watch along sounds good. See, yeah.
But Fernando, those are Twitch exclusives, so make sure you go to Twitch and look us up at Raw and Order WBU, which is what our socials are for everything except for Facebook, which is at Pissant Podcast, which Fernando knows because he hangs out with us on Facebook. So, JLB, tell them where they can find you and all the other crazy shit you do, brother.
Fair enough. So, of course, my name is Justin JLB. You can find me on Twitter at JLB420, anchor.fm/RTR. Why ITR? Because Real Talk Radio is the brand. Linktree will be down below in the doobly-doos. I talk a little bit about everything. Said that twice for some reason. Movies, music, entertainment, reviews, all kinds of stuff. I've been slacking for a hot minute. I'm going to watch Nope, and I'm probably going to start on my run with Nope as a review and then work my way back. Saw Beavis and Butthead do the universe, and that was quite an interesting one. So for you Beavis and Butthead fans, maybe you might want to check that one out. And links will be down below in the doobly-doos. Feel free to follow me. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, and like to discuss everything and anything in this godforsaken world. So feel free to drop a line. I am kind, I am friendly, and I am caring, and I am out. Back to you, good sir.
And you can find me... DA Vincent in my old age, I have discovered that I don't know how to talk. Apparently.
That you just suddenly got Alzheimer's.
Yeah. You can find me at Bob Smith Motors, where I make mowers.
And this is how we lose more people who now are officially offended for us insulting people with Alzheimer's.
You said Alzheimer's.
Yeah, but then you went to like a mimicking scenario, which got worse.
Where I was mimicking me being an idiot, bud.
Well, I mean, do you really have to mimic that?
Yeah, I do. I do. I'm thinking of a comeback right now. So give me a minute.
You want to come back? No, I can't say that. That's even
Veer did enough coming for all of us.
Oh, he did.
Anyway. You can find me, D.A. Vincent K-Babe, at D.A. Vincent K-Babe on Twitter only, because I'm lazy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because
he's old and lazy.
And you can find Johnny Hungy on the Wednesday night episode of AEW
Fight for Fallen.
Yeah. Fight for the Fallen.
Fight for the Fallen.
The 14-week series of Fight in the name of AEW.
Oh.
Yeah, they're guilty of that shit too. Like, we can just throw out the whole fucking making fun of WrestleMania thing. Smarks.
Yeah.
We do appreciate Johnny Hungy sticking in and Sting introducing him as a stand-in for Smarks. In case you guys didn't know, they're just action figures. It's not really Johnny Hungy sitting on my desk over here. See, I'm not that giant.
That'd be weird. Big. I thought you figured out the machine from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and you just shrunk him. I thought that was it. I was like, that was being very silent.
That may have been our shittiest set of jokes. So much so that Johnny Hungy laughed.
Johnny not impressed. Johnny leaving. Johnny upset.
Johnny leaving. So, we do appreciate everybody coming tonight. Beer.
Way to talk to the people right on the fucking camera.
Hey, man, I'm putting Johnny Hungy away. Shush. We do appreciate everybody coming and watching tonight. Again, make sure to go visit us on Twitch. That is where you'll get anything that we do as watch-alongs or botch-alongs.
I think Grisham didn't appreciate losing the belt. Nope, it's a good movie.
Oh, he liked Beavis and Butthead. Night, Ambrosia. Thank you for the love, support, as always, as well. And I'm sorry I cut you off. You may go now.
Yeah, no, we love having everybody here. So thank you very much. And
links are down below in the doobly doos, guys. Down below in the doobly doos. Since you don't know how to end a podcast, we thank everybody, and we will see you Tuesday for fantasy booking, where Officer Smarks shall be back. Until then, ciao for now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let it end on that. You fucking suck.
That was a fucking great ending. What are you talking about?
That was fucking incredible.
What are you, Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon?
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely.
just trying
We're
to
going
control
on
shit.
style, bitch.
Why don't